We're hearing a lot of things from the field about the ups and the downs of this business. And we've had that kind of feast and famine approach happening to us rather routinely of late. And the economy then becomes yet another factor as people are looking at where they want to spend their money. And I don't know that it's affected all of you, but many of you have begun to see this begin to shrink your market or impact your market in some way. There's also been a surge of other companies who've gotten into mold remediation, they've gotten into sanitizing, and so there's more competition there as well. Well, I saw this coming probably 3 to 4 months ago, and I've been working with some ideas that would help us expand that marketplace. You know, rather than retreating from the problem, I think sometimes we just have to get a sense of boldness and step forward into the issue and say, we're going to deal with this. Well, one of the things we find is that we are a service industry. Now, as a service industry, we have the ability to kind of offer a variety of things that we can do that can enlarge that marketplace we're in. But what do we want to go after? We don't want to go after cleaning per se, because that's already quite competitive, very filled up, and there's not enough profit margin in there for a lot of folks to do well. And so the search was going on for something that was going to do the job. Part of the question I asked myself is, what is a universal issue related to building services that we need to look at? What does everybody have to deal with? And we don't find as many people out there chasing that particular market. Well, the concept eventually got to me after some review and some research that floors are universal, and floors are a universal problem. No matter whether they're outside in the form of concrete, pavers, etc., stonework, or whether it's inside, it's rather universal. Now, a number of our people don't want to jump full scale into hard floor care or even soft floor care, which would be carpets. They're not prepared to go there. And that's something that we want to have available, but we don't necessarily want that to be what we're pressing people into. But here's something of interest. I have found that we have a concept that is pretty outstanding and cut above everything else, and there's not a lot of competition for it. And that's the exterior of the building, particularly in the pavers, the stone, any kind of brick material that's out there. After a period of time, everything starts looking older, starts looking dirtier, and you can see this wherever you go if you start paying attention to it. Back in the days when I did carpet cleaning, I began to become aware wherever I went of the condition of the carpet because I started looking at that. And that was an area of my interest, and I could see it in different areas where I would go. If you start looking around, as I have found that I'm in a restaurant, particularly here in the Florida area, but in a lot of places, there are pavers out front, there's tile floors inside, and much of this is in relatively clean but poor condition. And so we've been able to connect with a company that has, number one, a green program. Number two, they have a superior program. Number three, it's easy for anybody to get into this, really easy. And third, it's profitable because there's not as much competition out there. So here's what we're looking at. We're looking at the fact that whether it be patios, whether it be driveways, sidewalks, storefront areas, all these commercial properties, the pavers and the stonework usually are an issue. They've either started to turn different colors, they've faded out, they're dirty, and they need some help. So we're going to be trying to introduce you to something new. And it may not be altogether new, but it's something that you need to know about because I think we get a superior solution here. Because it is green, because it is a superior product. Whenever we're dealing with the idea of these floors, and I'm thinking the external first, and then we do have the ability to move internal and deal with tile and stone inside quite exceptionally. So, but how can we make this simple? Well, first of all, pressure washing is simple. You know, I know there are folks who do large, massive jobs. We're not thinking about that. We're thinking about these smaller jobs. And right now we are in the Florida area. There's a lot of these HOAs, and often in the nicer homes, there's pavers out there. The sidewalks need some work on it and so forth. Well, the steps are really simple as far as how this works. It's a pressure washer, which anybody can get. They're not that difficult. And anybody with a modest effort can learn to do this. So you can have people working for you do this. Second of all, if we're doing, for example, any kind of pavers, which are the bricks or the stones that go into place, what we do then is we try to fill any cracks with just sand. So we brush that around. That's real simple stuff. And then we have a pump sprayer, and we put down this product. Now, most of these products that are out there currently they don't have the durability of this. Once we put this down, it's going to restore the color, make it look like almost better than new. It's going to give it a wet look type of sheen. It's going to maintain good traction, but it's going to look fantastic. But our product will last guaranteed for 2 years. This is important because when people are putting out that kind of money, they're looking at something that's going to last. Now, in a 2-year cycle, that also means that as we do these, we can then come back every 1 to 2 years to make sure everything is good and maintain those and maintain a source of income for ourselves. So we're going to travel a different track here. And I don't know whether this is a track that you want to follow on, but as the opportunities over here begin to close in, we're looking for other areas to reach out into and get business going. The nice thing about this is since floors are universal and the problem is a universal embarrassment, and they all universally need to be treated better than they are right now, the door is open. There isn't as many competitors for this. It's not as though floor care hasn't been around or power washing, pressure washing hasn't been around for some time. It's not been done as well as we can do it. And all it takes is to demonstrate this in one place. An example would be, we were in an HOA, which is a homeowner association here in Florida. That was a nicer area, and they had pavers. We were able to get the guy to do this job. And so we went in and we power washed it all. Looked good. Didn't look great because it still was washed out by the sun. And then we put down some sand and brushed around with some brooms, filled in all the cracks and blew it away. And then we took the pump sprayer and just basically easily sprayed all that area. The look was stunning, literally stunning. But here's the bigger fact. Everybody else wanted to know, how did you do that? Where can we find your card? How can we get in touch with you? And it was infectious. We have, in some of these little areas in Florida, we've got some of these nice little city areas where they've got restaurants and they've got the curb service and so forth, and they've got bricks or concrete that again cleaned, swept, mopped, whatever it might have been, but faded. And so you can only imagine if we could do one store and basically make it look like so impressively nice, the other stores would come on board. Now what I'm seeing here is the chance to come in with a better solution on an area that is not being well treated in there. I know that when we go down to the shopping centers and the malls and the other places that we go to, we go in them and they've got stone, concrete, and so forth. And again, clean, but not as impressive as it was when it was new. And it's out there everywhere. So what I'm saying to you is maybe this is a time to look at expanding our horizons into an area that has been undeveloped and ill-served thus far. And we're going to have our training program online. I want you to consider this, and I want you to sign up for this. The training program will be $100, so it's no big issue in there. It's all going to be online. You're going to see everything about everything from step 1 to step 2, and it's an easy type of task for anybody to get involved with. And we can actually, if you're in an area where you've got cold weather and it's not working so well, there are services under the same umbrella that can go inside, and you'll find this in the training, how we can turn our attention inside to tile floors and to greasy kitchens, because our product has a microbial base to it. And if you shoot this, spray this around or put it down the drain, it destroys the grease. It's kind of an all-around option we have that we can do A, B, and C along with the other things that we're already doing now. But these areas are so good that they serve as introductions to the other things that you're going to do. Now, I'm not going to try to get into this too much, but I'd like to hear from you. If you're interested in this concept, then I'll be sending out information about our program. And it's really simple to get involved with, because frankly, the training that you're going to go through, just so we can know who you are and we can support you along the way, is $100. So that's not going to kill anybody. But I think if you begin to see what we've put inside this training and the attributes we're bringing here, this is really deluxe type of service that is needed out there, that is not being well served. If you drive around and you see wherever you go, the exterior parts of buildings, and realize that you could make a huge improvement in them, I think you'll see the market is ready for this. And all you need to do is do it one time in an area and use it as a showpiece for everybody else, because people are going to be then comparing this store over here to this store over here, this driveway over here to this driveway over there, and the difference is going to be stunning. So this gives you the ability to do something that's rather infectious, that doesn't require you to go out there and chase that business each and every time. You just have to get your foothold into this, and then we can bring in all the other services that come along with it. Now, I know that some of you are struggling a little bit, or you're kind of worried about whether you're going to stay in this business or not. I'd like to help you. I'd like to help you get this going and make it happen for you. So you know what my email is. It's admin@noai.org. And you can get in touch with me and let me know that you want to be a part of this program. I guarantee you that if you really want to make a go of this, it's going to be stunning, it's going to be great, and I want to invite you to be a part of it.